All right, so as you all know, I'm a big fan of Advance Wars. I might be one of the best players of Advance Wars in the world. I've S-ranked everything that can be S-ranked in every Advance Wars game that's available. I spent a lot of time thinking about Advance Wars. The next Wednesday or Tuesday show of Geek Nights, we will be reviewing Wargroove straight up. Now, we did a test stream with me and Scott, and as you saw, I crushed Scott because, you know, he's not that good at this kind of game. And also because he just moved his leader to a dumb spot once. But I think what I want to do is try to take everyone through... I have not beaten Wargroove yet. I've played some of this on the Switch. I'm going to start over on the PC for a stream. But I kind of want to take everyone through this game and try to elaborate on all the things that specifically make it different from Advance Wars. Because the reality is, it is, like I said, really good and it's really fun. It's the closest thing to an Advance Wars game that's come out in a good decade, but it's not quite Advance Wars. It doesn't quite scratch that itch 100%. Let's see, let's get right in. We have to go through a tutorial. That is a little bit annoying. But let's dive right in. Let's just do it. Yeah, that's right. Go hide in the throne room. I am 100% sure this character becomes at least on the good side by the end of the game. Some unfortunate wretches. Now, one thing that bothers me about this tutorial is that it is 100% prescriptive in that you literally cannot try anything different. You have to do exactly what it says or it'll yell at you. And the other thing that's kind of weird about it... Yeah, I know. Just hold off. Hold off, lady. Okay, I guess I gotta do this. How come all the guards between me and the throne room have 1 health? Like, who went and stabbed these guys a bunch of times and then just left them there? Her sprite is really cute, though. I do like this character. In multiplayer, I like using her because her power is actually pretty devastating. Though I was pleased to learn, but also saddened to learn that it doesn't work on the enemy hero. This is indeed laughably easy. There's not much I can say about this compared to Advance Wars at this stage. But yeah, plot. You don't really get much plot for a while. Ooh, he has a burden of knowledge. See, now it's even going to make me use a menu. Yep, select. I know, I'm aware. Okay, here we go. Overview. This is a nice quality of life thing. This actually is a big step up from any Advance Wars game. Oh yeah, it's PC. I guess using a mouse too, but the fact that this view exists is really nice. Because it means you can have a big map and make it much easier for someone to try to come up with an actual proper strategy. A problem with a lot of games like this, or at least superficially similar to this, is that they won't give you a very large view. They'll force you to play a very zoomed-in game, and as a result, you're not going to really... You're going to have to constantly scroll around and keep things in your brain to be able to have a consistent strategy, and they don't really feel like a proper war game. Alright, let's kill these guys so I can get to a more real mission.
My little
I wonder if I just wait, if he'll keep talking. I assume it won't do anything fun. I assume if I do that, eventually it'll just say, oh, you got found, and then I'll try it sometime, or I'll find a YouTube video. Hey, in the stream, yeah, I'm glad to hear that. We're, as you notice, we're actually doing talks that are researched again, as opposed to just our own opinions or things we already knew a lot about. Stay tuned for the talk we're giving at PAX East if you didn't see it already. The real harm of games. That's gonna be a real talk. I love the animations in this game. I love these sprites. Sigrid reminds me almost of, she's not funny, friendly like Marceline. She is kind of just dangerous, but she kind of reminds me of the girl from Cucumber Quest. Just a little bit. Except for the fact that she murders people.
Listen.
Funnily enough, kind of like the beginning to the Dragon Prince. Oh, look, I got an S rank. Hurrah.
Yes.
Hope it's sad times now.
No. I'm sorry. My queen. I have no doubt.
What? Let's go.
So here is a big difference between this game and Advance Wars. So especially the later Advance Wars games, they will often have... All right, I'm just going to blow through this tutorial as fast as possible. But, like, look at Days of Ruin or Dual Strike. The parameters for getting an S rank are actually pretty complex. So in an Advance Wars game, if you're trying to get an S rank in a map, you pretty much can't lose units unless you really need to. You have to beat the map within a certain amount of time. You have to not lose units, or at least not waste units. In fact, the way it actually works is you have to beat the map having lost or even built entirely the fewest units necessary. So if you're winning a map in Advance Wars and you keep building bombers in the back of your forces just in case, or you build a bunch of units to make sure, even if you beat it in a short amount of time, you still won't get the S rank. You got to basically build the minimum number of units necessary to win without losing units in the fastest amount of time. And it has a third piece. In Advance Wars, there's this idea of power. So in that, you actually have to, on at least one turn, kill as many enemy units as possible, do as much damage as possible. You need to do all three of those things and do them better than par to get an S rank. So, as far as I can tell in Wargroove, the only parameter to getting an S rank is that you have to beat the map within a certain amount of time. Yes, I'll find out more about pikemen. So basically what that means is that units in this game are basically just disposable. Like, you really don't care if you lose them unless you needed them. You might as well just keep making units, make units and just block. All these strategies that are effective in Advance Wars if you're just trying to win, but are completely worthless if you're trying to get an S rank, are very valuable and viable in this game. Because in this game, just having a bunch of carts and just sticking them away on a bridge does not cost you anything. So this is another, I've been skipping the, I guess the lore here and the tutorial. This is another thing that Advance Wars never had a concept of at all that's actually good. So in Advance Wars, units are just units. They act independently of other units on your team. In this game, every unit has a particular map situation where if they're in that situation, they get a critical hit and they do more damage. Unfortunately, unlike Advance Wars where I've internalized the math, I don't 100% know or understand the math for this game yet. So what that means is that I'll sometimes make mistakes. A unit will take more damage than I expect. I'll do less damage than I expect. But the units themselves have these powers that rely on other units throughout their situation. So for example, the swordsman, if my leader's out, the swordsman will do more damage if they are next to, orthogonally adjacent to, my leader. Those crits are a big deal. The pikeman will do more damage if they are adjacent to another pikeman. So check this out. If I attack, see how that's flashing? That means that I'm going to do, pretty sure that just means 9 damage. I think the math is actually much simpler in this game than I'd anticipated. So I think I'll do 9 damage. It's flashing because it's a crit, because I'm next to another pikeman. It does not matter what health that other pikeman is at.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, this cute crap, like this guy chasing with the crown, I like. This reminds me a lot of the early pre-Days of Ruin Advance Wars games. Like the first one that came out in the US on the GBA. Oh, look at S rank! Oh, some lore.
No.
So, when I'm playing this game on the... Scott and Emily and everyone around has pointed out, I like this character. Like, she's fun to play with, and, like, she's got a funny backstory. But her voice acting is really annoying. All right, now we got our first real map.
Yes.
Yeah, gotta get that neutral village. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, this game is definitely in the spirit of Advance Wars and inspired directly by Advance Wars. The people who made it were trying to make Advance Wars 2. Or at least the spiritual successor to Advance Wars. So, every unit in this game effectively has an analog in Advance Wars. So this guy here, these Rangers, they're effectively the regular old artillery, but tweaked a little bit. They're like a... So, you know, in Advance Wars, you have the regular infantry, and then you got the mechs that are slightly stronger but don't move as fast. In this game, you've got the swordsmen that are the regular infantry. Then you've got the pikemen that are a little stronger, cost a little bit more, and don't move as far. This guy's kind of like the artillery, but he also has a melee attack, and his power is that he will do crit damage if he doesn't move when he attacks, like an artillery. But he will do crit damage if he moves Oh, sorry, he'll do no crit damage if he moves and attacks in the same round. So imagine if artillery in Advance Wars could move and attack, but just did less damage. That would actually drastically change the game. So swordsmen are basically the regular old infantry. Pikemen are mechs. And rangers are like artillery-esque. They're like an infantry artillery.
Yeah.
I'll move right there, like you said. So this is another big difference between Advance Wars, and this is game-changing. I'm not sure if I like everything about how it's implemented. I don't like the fact that units can't move into cities. It makes the map a little weirdly restrictive, because units can... But also, because units can move over cities, just not through them, it creates a lot of sort of weird situations where units can get to places you wouldn't expect, so you have to spend a lot more time parsing the map in a way that you wouldn't in Advance Wars. I kind of prefer if units could actually go into and garrison a city.
Yes.
All right. So if you hold A, in Advance Wars, you can hold B and C. The ranger unit could actually do damage. This game both does a little bit more and does it in a kind of annoying way. So if I hold A on a unit, I can see where they can move to, kind of shaded there, and I can see the places they could conceivably attack, similar to Advance Wars. The only problem is because of the outline, in a dense formation, it's sometimes hard to see if, it's not obvious immediately if this space is covered or not, especially if there's a unit here. It's a little bit annoying. But I can see that guy can attack up to here. So let's just hang out there. Build another pikeman. So I'll get that crit. I can move this guy in. So in all these maps, like this is C, like I can't move over the C. But effectively all the units I'm using are analogous to the infantry in regular old Advance Wars. And infantry and pretty much any land unit can just go over these streams. Instead of Advance Wars where these block everything but infantry, everything kind of acts like infantry with few exceptions. And see those little skulls under hazard? Units stopping in a stream just take more damage. Like, they're just weaker. So if I build units from these barracks, but in Advance Wars, units would start in the barracks, just like a unit would start in the city. Here, they have to be put adjacent to the city. That's interesting because in one sense, unlike regular old Advance Wars, where a very viable strategy to end a match efficiently was to move units on top of enemy armories to prevent them from building units out of those armories ahead of actually capturing them. You can't do that as easily in this game. You would actually need to get 4 units surrounding this to prevent the enemy from building a unit inside of it. It also means that, say there's units in these 3 spots, if someone built a unit here, they would not be able to attack through the barracks or through the building other units because they couldn't end their turn here. So again, you get kind of weird situations with the adjacency. Alright. I'll try to just end this quickly. Definitely want to kill the unit first. So, in terms of units and damage done in this game, so the map's going to end, so I'll make a longer range unit who can get further. Are they going to attack me? What? Yep, so I can take this. I can move this guy toward the end. Yeah, so see how the cities have health? So in Advance Wars, if you have a unit in a city, they will heal every round some of their damage, and it'll cost you money that is a proportional amount based on what the unit cost and how much they healed, and if your treasury's empty, then they won't actually get healed. In this game, to heal a unit, you got to start next to the city, and so I can reinforce. It'll show me the cost. I can spend my turn to drain health from the city to heal my unit. Meaning cities are a finite resource for healing. Unlike Advance Wars, where as long as you hold the city, you hold the city. So it means that just the act of rushing out and getting a city and trying to use that as the linchpin to your strategy doesn't quite work as well, because look, the city's going to heal slowly. They have a very finite healing capacity as far as my units are concerned, and they can be easily taken back in this state. Also, when you take one, you'll notice the city has a built-in garrison. If I let the animations play, which I'm not going to do because they take forever, even though they're cute, you'll see that the units actually attack the city, and the city fights back, like in a Civilization game. So check this out. It's only going to heal 2? Yeah, 2. Because it drained the city down to 1. So in Advance Wars, I would not be making these extra units because I wouldn't want to be risking getting anything less than an S rank. But in this game, I don't really care because as far as I can tell, the only thing that matters is how quickly I beat the match. So let's just rush in. I'll just end the turn. So check this. I attack that guy to weaken him. Attacker has a very distinct advantage in this game. If you kill a guy with your hit, they won't get to counterattack. And damage they do is proportional to their health. Alright, I can knock it out next turn. So you generally want to always be the one attacking. There are not, until much later in the game, there are no tank units. There are no units that can take a hit. Every single unit you have takes a huge amount of damage if anything even looks at it crosswise. So there's a huge attacker advantage. So in Advance Wars, like, I would do things like this. Like, I'd always make sure I do as much damage as possible before I finish something. In this game, I will keep building units at the back of my lines as long as there's even 1% chance the enemy could win. I'll keep building units and sending them across. I appreciate how the skeletons don't talk, they just chatter. Now, like Advance Wars, other than Days of Ruin, I also appreciate how this has that aesthetic of, hey, we can all be friends and have conversations. We're just commanders of these armies. You want to have a fight? Yay! And then the fight is literally just hundreds of troops being killed. Like, the disconnect between what actually happens in the game and how the leaders of these armies interact with each other is really funny. I've always loved that about Advance Wars games.
Whatever. I won't hold back. I'll crush you.
So knights are interesting. They kind of act like infantry would in Advance Wars. They're almost like a motorcycle. They'll do some damage. I guess I gotta heal this guy. Oh, it's teaching me how healing works, I guess. So when you capture a structure, its health starts at half the health of the unit that captured it. But what that means is there's a sort of emergent, one of those odd strategies that comes up that I've already taken advantage of quite a bit. You'll often let the enemy knock out a 1 health city to 0, and then you just recapture it on your next turn and bring it back to 5, and then use that 5 to heal another unit. Like, you will often want to engage in behavior where you let the enemy take your city on purpose. I'm not going to lose. So these guys, this is the crit that I don't like that much. These guys do a crit if the thing they're attacking, look at this, if critical hit when it attacks from a location 6 spaces away from where it started. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's confusing. It's easy to have a off by 1 error here. Critical hit when it attacks from a location 6 spaces away from where it starts. So I would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then attack a unit either here, here, or here. It's really hard to line that up in a way that would make sense because this game, units are hyper mobile. Everything can move like crazy. So say I wanted to crit this city. All right, so I'd attack here from here. So from here, I'd have to get here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I was here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I got to go like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crit. It's not, as much as I like to fully math out games like this, I don't care enough to deal with this crap, these guys all the time. It's really annoying. I wish that crit was different. All right, so I'm going to play this like it's serious and try to get the S rank. And I'm going to try to play it more like I would in Advance Wars. In this situation, I want to rush in with a bunch of units instead of doing the pikeman thing. Oh, would it? So, I had complaints that these icons were not that intuitive and kind of hard to read and generally a pain. I saw there's already an update coming to Wargroove where they're going to change how those icons look to make it clearer what kind of unit is what. Yeah. Right, so first things first, I'm going to get that crit. Nah, let's just move in. I doubt I'm going to lose. I can always retreat. Yep, I'll crit that city. And because I'm critting it, I don't take any damage because I did 100%. So I will have 840 gold next turn. 840. I'll still be able to afford another knight. So I'll get another swordsman.
Interesting. Yes.
All right, let's see. Let's take some people out. There, that's the way to play it.
I'm ending this.
So that interplay, though, of having to attack a city, potentially taking damage along the way, and then, so you can attack it with any unit. So it's almost like Civ. You literally could, like, build some artillery, and you got to attack a city and bring it down to 0, and then have infantry move in. That's a drastic difference from Advance Wars, where any infantry can just take a city and will not take damage along the way. They just have to occupy it long enough without getting killed. So swordsmen will get a crit because they're next to that. Now, because it's the leaders are just crazy powerful. There are 0 indicators on the screen to figure out if there's a crit possibility. You just gotta pay attention. You gotta know. I'm just rushing in. It's an early mission. I'm not gonna lose. See, there'll be a crit because it's flashing. That is the only indicator you get. And that's that. I feel like she is also going to be a good guy by the end.
No. Yeah!
Ooh, the big bad, Sturm.
Right now.
Oh, of course, S rank.
My queen.
Let's go. Huh?
All these wagons. So, instead of APCs, there are wagons. The wagons have ridiculous movement. Like, it's silly. And you don't even have to move onto the wagon. You just have to get next to it. So, doing the strategy... In Advance Wars, you do this strategy where if you had N infantry and N-1 APCs, or even N-2 APCs, depending if N was greater than, like, 3, you could do the strategy where you could move a number of infantry faster than they could all each move on their own, without each one of them going into an APC. And you basically move all the infantry forward, and you pull the furthest back ones even further forward with APCs, and you rotate, and you can move infantry in a hurry. In this game, units move so far, even in the big maps, that that's rarely a problem, and this wagon fucking books it. Look at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
right, I only see. So I only have to get next to it. This dope. Don't be fooled. These guys can't do anything except get killed. Peasants cannot like be upgraded. They can't turn into anything. They just die. He can only move 3, but I can go in here. All right. This is a plot map where I basically just have to memorize or know what's going to happen, but I got to move these guys all the way up here without losing them and without losing my stronghold. Let's get some range guys to hang out. I assume some units will come from up there. I can just kill these guys myself. Didn't even check the range. I feel like I'm getting pretty good at eyeballing the range like I am at Advance Wars. Am I playing this enough? So one thing you might not notice when I talked about the defense, so mountains are super defensible. Forests are similarly defensible. Can't move over those. Plains actually have 1 defense. Roads have 0. That is actually very, very important. Alright, let's take this guy out because I don't want range units getting up in my biz. I can't get a crit, but I can get close. I know another villager is going to come because that's how this rolls. And I know that villager can move 3, so I can put this here. The villager will spawn here. He can move 1, 2, 3, and then for free, move 4 to get in here because that's how adjacency works in this game. You can see where this guy can hit. So I want to make sure these guys are hiding. This is Advanced Wars type strategy. Such that if they get attacked, I can attack back with this guy who's hanging out here. Let's make another one for good measure. And let's just slowly walk this guy up to the end.
My queen.
Okay, let's pull back a little bit. I could probably just take these guys out. I can get away in time. Let's not sweat it. Oh, my groove is powered. Let's make this pipeline of peasants. And let's put this guy down. And let's keep him here for symmetry. Second pikeman, I'll drop him off down here, and then I'm set.
My queen. Attack.
So those are pikemen, so I'll take some damage if I attack them. But because my groove is powered, I can do the groove thing.
None shall fall while I still stand. Healing aura.
They seem to charge similarly to Advance Wars ones. Some are stronger and charge less frequently, like say Hawk in Advance Wars. Some are weaker but charge constantly. It looks like a difference is in Advance Wars, other units will charge it for you. So, and getting hurt charges it faster than hurting. So in regular Advance Wars, it's almost like a rubber band mechanism. The more damage your units as a whole take, the more your charge powers up. In this game, this leader, the more they attack enemies and kill enemies, the faster it charges up. And otherwise, it just charges a little on its own. So I continue doing this. Same strategy as before. I'll back this off here. Oh, yeah. Let him attack. I could actually just do the crit. Oops, I ended my turn by accident. There's a quality of life change they announced. So, let me let the enemy turn happen. And then I'll explain it. So in regular Advance Wars, when you hit a menu button, the button to open the menu, end turn is at the bottom. So instinctively, for playing Advance Wars, I'll end my turn by hitting A, up A. I keep trying to do that in this game and not ending my turn. But if I accidentally double-click A, I'll just end the turn. They are going to add a confirmation to end your turn if you have units. They're going to prevent that situation from occurring in the future. Let's keep my peasant pipeline moving.
Very well.
Because all I need to do is get these peasants to safety. That's the whole map. I forget if there's 4 or if that's the last one. But regardless, I'm just going to retreat here. Because I don't need to kill these units. I only need to get the peasants to safety. Alright, let's retreat these guys as well. And a knight for good measure, why not? Oh no, my city. Oh no, my pikemen I don't care about. How many more peasants are there? Because instead of funneling another guy over... Well, just in case, let's be ready for it. Okay. Remember, these guys crit if they don't move before they attack. So you drain the health of that city. So now this guy can't heal off of the city so easy. Now, check out this combo. This is how pikemen get pretty powerful. You basically make grids of them, so I can do this, get a crit because I'm adjacent, and pikemen are naturally strong against horsemen, which makes sense. See, so again, in Advance Wars, I wouldn't keep building units. There's no point. This guy will only heal to 8 because the city is weak. That's fine. I don't need to advance. I'm just going to turtle here, finish the map. just in case there's more peasants. So this might be the last one, so let me just drop him up in here. Oh, I guess there's more coming. Alright. Let's just retreat. Play it cool. You can always reinforce one. Yep, one more peasant. Yep, that's the last of them. I win in 2 turns. And because wagons moved so far, I didn't really need to bother defending that left side at all. Oh, I should have looked at the weather. I wasn't even paying attention. See how it shows in the upper right? The weather that's coming day by day. So now my artillery... Look, this guy attacked me with high range, and I can't attack back because now the weather's bad. But it's moot. As long as my peasant doesn't die and my commander doesn't die, I win. But in the true spirit of a game like this, you never stop hustling. Pikemen will do some damage to my horsemen, but I do not care.
Your Highness.
I won't let you down.
And...
My queen.
oh shit, I gotta move her out of the way too. God damn it, okay. I forgot about that. Oh look, she can move 4. So I'll just retreat these guys, form a wall. Just in case. Here, let's even move this guy. Let's just not mess this up. Perfect.
I'm here to help. Healing aura.
She can move 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could actually technically put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and she'd still be good. I could have put it one further away. I wasn't 100% sure if rain would affect her movement at all, so I guess I was being extra cautious. It matters not.
Rise from your grave.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure I could kill Valder. So I'm curious what the game will do to prevent me from killing him. Will it just keep sending units? I wonder what would happen. I wonder, or either the game will keep sending units, to make sure that it is literally or effectively impossible, or it will make him unkillable. I should find out later or endeavor to try it, but right now I don't care. Pretty sure Ragnar becomes good in the end. Or at least good-esque. Same with Sigrid. Pretty sure that guy, Valheim's just or Valder's just gonna die.
Sigrid.
Dot, dot, dot.
Huh? Let's go.
All right, the plant people. Pretty sure this guy remains evil all the way to the end, and I'm assuming he dies. Lore. I got S rank, right? Yep. So we've S'd everything so far, right? Right? Looks like it. All right, typical of Advance Wars games, let's have the misunderstanding fights with our eventual allies, starting with the cool plant people who looks like they're from Starbound. Like it's the same race that's in this other Starbound franchise, and they just put it in this game. So, okay. Carnivorous plant people who seem pretty chill, other than this one guy. I like how Sedge's motivation is just, I want to eat people because I am hungry. And none of the other plant people are like that. Oh, we haven't even gotten into the doggo yet. So here's a problem. This is the first, and as far as I can see so far, I'm only Fog of War map. Fog of War in this game is not great. It is way less fun than Advance Wars for a bunch of reasons. I'll try to explain.
Very well.
So the dog units, war pups in the for this faction, but they're all the same. All the factions are the same. The war pups are basically recons, but they can go into mountains like infantry. So in Advance Wars, every unit has a sight. So see, this unit has a sight of 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Everything has the same sight range 4, except I guess the ranger has a sight range of 5, which again makes them kind of weird. In Advance Wars, infantry go in mountains. Recons, like the equivalent of dogs, can't go into mountains. And recons have a huge range. So in this game, the dogs, which otherwise function like recons, can see very far if they're in a mountain. What bothers me is that look at this sighting range. See how it's just a distance from the unit? That's simplistic, and that is kind of weak because the way Advance Wars did it, which I do believe is superior, I'm not gonna give Wargroove a pass on this. In Advance Wars, different units had different sights, and ranged units tended to have less sight, not more. Now, I don't know. Once we find a trebuchet, I gotta see if the trebuchet has a long range or not for sight. But maybe it makes sense that the ranger has sight. I don't care about that. The problem is, in Advance Wars, sight was the range, and you could extend it by being in a mountain, and forests and cities that you did not control were blocked from sight. So if this were Advance Wars right now, I still couldn't see these units. I would see all these plain spaces, and all the woods that I don't have a unit adjacent to would still be opaque. So the fog of war in this game is just less interesting and less engaging. There's less strategy around it. I can't lay traps. Like in Advance Wars, the trap would be like I put a unit here to catch you, and you won't see it unless you actually move a guy off the road to check out the forest. Oh, I messed up, actually. I could have done this better. I could have killed that guy and had this guy. Maybe. It doesn't really matter. I don't need to capture cities. These are still the easy maps. Doggos cannot capture cities. Hey, buddy. Took a bunch of damage there, didn't you? See you hanging out up there. Let's get the dog to the side. Dogs are pretty weak. Do they have strength? Let's see. Side strength. Yeah, it doesn't really list like a strength number. Dogs, I haven't really compared these. So these guys are effective against all that stuff. Dogs are effective against... See, it's interesting. It doesn't say dog is effective against mage here. But pikeman is effective against mage. But in my experience, dogs fuck mages up. So, whatever. Let's capture this so I can heal. Also, the computer enemies seem to be able to see me just fine. Like, fog of war doesn't seem to affect them. Not gonna move, eh? See, now that guy can just attack my dog. This is another gripe I have with Wargroove. I can't blame them too much because, as I've said on Geek Nights, if you look at the story of how the maps in Advance Wars games were designed, it was a huge, probably... It was an effort that was so large, it probably wasn't actually worth it, but it did make a fantastic game. So, a lot of these campaign maps, they're fun, and they're well-designed, and they're interesting, but they're not perfectly designed. The fact that there's this trap where, look, this unit that's hidden here can attack both of these mountain spaces, yet the game, the heuristics it gives you, tells you to get your dog up here, and it lays a trap there's literally nothing you could have done to prevent. It just doesn't feel right. Like, the game does not... It doesn't have that level of polish that I want from an Advance Wars game. It's a mild annoyance, but it is an annoyance. Also, that animation of revealing and unrevealing moves way too slow. So luckily, dogs, the way they crit is if they're surrounding another unit. This guy's basically invincible in this map, so let's just capture. Damn the torpedoes. And let's heal this guy for the future. Like, this interaction just didn't feel good. I had to take damage from a trap that was laid... Like, following the game's rules didn't really help me avoid that trap. Oh, I'm going to lose that dog, I think. Oh, wow. All right. not lose the dog. But see, like in Advance Wars, say I could move this dog here and they wouldn't see me. I could hide. There's a lot more nuance to Fog of War. These guys don't really move fast enough to get through that wood. Nor do these guys. See, they have a move of 3. They have a move of 3. Foot units take 3 movement points, or 2 movement points to get through every square of forest. And horse units take 3. All right, doggo. I'm not going to move you up there because they'll just get attacked. I could slowly creep these guys up. Maybe I will. I just want to end this quickly. Oh, no, I don't want to. See, there's the other thing that bothers me. In Advance Wars, like early Advance Wars games in the campaign, there was usually a clever way to beat a lot of maps. Like there's a trick to it, a particular strategy that's very effective, something clever. In this game, most of the maps are basically just a slog. Oh, his groove is ready. All right, doggo. Should I capture this? Sure. Why not? I'll just keep moving these guys north. But, like, this is the kind of situation where there would be an obvious strategy of, like, follow the road, slog through a battle, take this thing, and then use that to build the units you need for the second half. But then there'd be a clever way where if you sent units, like, through this forest, you could set up an ambush. I have yet to find many, if any, clever ways to beat some of these maps. And if you see what looks like a clever way through something, you're most likely just going to have to wait. They actually made Valder invincible. See, I hate it when games do stuff like that. I wish instead they would just make it to where there's no way for you to beat him. But, like, let you try. Like, put too many units out. Just literally just start flooding the map with units. Do something fun like that. Or if you beat him, make something funny happen or something interesting happen, and then, like, make up some excuse for him to have not actually died. Oh, well. I like it when there are clever things you could do that would unlock a, like, funny moment or a story bit that wouldn't otherwise impact the game. I don't like it when a unit just has plot invincibility. Oh, so units are spawning behind me. So that's the timer. I do appreciate that. Because there's one other changed aspect in this game compared to Advance Wars that's fundamental. There is no concept of fuel. Units can move and move and move forever. That makes air units a little overpowered compared to Advance Wars, because if you have a fighter jet, it burns through its fuel, you gotta have like a supply chain. This game does not require supply chains of any kind.
Interesting.
let's not bother healing him. But because there's no fuel, you could run the game in loops and move units around and play like ridiculous draw, and there's all sorts of crap you could do. So at least in the campaign, it seems like the way they get around that is they'll often have game timers that are intrinsic to the game. So the game timer in this case is all these units that I won't be able to beat are going to start coming up behind me and taking these cities. And if I try to fight them, notice I only have one barracks. I can only build one unit per turn, and I don't have access to any particularly expensive or strong unit. So there are no good ways to fight like a real battle. That would not actually kill him. I'm about to get attacked by a bunch of dudes. Let's put the Elder Shield out now.
Cherry stones defend us!
So I can stick it to block, and the enemy has to attack this. It'll also deplete over time, but it means my units will get a big defense bonus. Now, in Advance Wars, I would never do something like this. Like, I like the Advance Wars is a game where you don't want to let your units die. You want to be very careful. In this game, just go for it. Like, units are hyper expendable in this game, and it's very hard to maintain like area denial strategies or zones of control. Because look, I don't have any tank units. No unit I have can take a hit. I can't like have a unit hold the bridge. Any unit I put on the other side of this bridge is just going to get slaughtered by the first thing that attacks it. See? Any one of my units except my leader, that would have happened. I gotta play this right. I'll probably lose that knight. I would like to weaken this guy. Oh, there's Sedge. Alright. Just killing him will win the map. But instead of clever strategies, I pretty much just want to slog it out. Oh no, my doggo. At least I can say in the animations of the game, if you actually let them play out, all the other units just like die if they get killed in the animation. The dog units don't. When a dog gets attacked, the requisite number of dogs to reflect the damage just run away. It's kind of cute. Check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. I guess I'll do 100% anyway. I could try to save those cities, but I don't think I need to. All right, doggo, you go hide. He's got those pikemen. Can't quite take out Sedge. Let's heal this guy, because I can only make 1 unit per turn. Want to keep making the strongest units. Actually, a ranger would be okay. Oh, there's Sedge. He's locked in. So I could drop this again. First things first. Might be able to just take him at 7, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually. How will this work out?
Cherry stones defend us!
Oh, right. Now he's hidden by the stupid fog of war. Let's just charge in. I'd like to end this. These early maps are not that fun. 4, 5, 6. This is much faster than trying to go up and actually deal with that barracks.
Sedge will catch you.
I love his horse. Oh, now the second round of misunderstanding before they become allies. Oops. Yep, S rank. I can see 3 stars there. Alright, so much like Advance Wars Days of Ruin, there are main missions and side missions. Oh, I'll play a dog mission. So if you didn't notice from all the promotional material, that dog's a commander just like any other commanders. His animations are great. I will turn them on. I also love these outlaws because their dialogue kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, the Lupin's guy from Monty Python. Like, they're Monty Python-esque brigands. All right, who's the good boy? This is another silly mission. I just have to beat it as fast as possible. So let's see if I can still get an S rank, despite it being a little silly. Now, see, this is the kind of thing where a clever Advance Wars map, there'd be a way to send someone around the outside and, like, go in this other door. But no, the best way to beat this mission is to go straight in. It's just super obvious. Open each door along the way, and then do the boss fight in here. So I want to point something out, because I saw this here. Does anything stand out about this map? I'm going to scroll down real slowly. Anything catch your eye? So one, there's treasure chests here. But you see they don't show up when you hover over them. And like if you hit B, there's nothing. It's just flagstone. Interesting that carpet and flagstone are two different tile types that both give you defense. A decorative tile that's functionally the same as flagstone. Okay. But what's this here? Nothing shows up. But clearly, if you played a game like Fire Emblem, Advance Wars never has these kinds of things. What the shit is this? What's going on here? That is clearly special. It is like there's something on, and sure enough, if you move your unit over onto it, it appears and says ... and nothing happens. So I did look online to see what the deal is. Spoilers, it's a thing. And I'm not going to explain what the thing is, but don't worry about it. Don't even consider interacting with it in your first playthrough. It only does something when you play through this again later. Like after you've beaten the game. But like sending the dogs around the outside gets you very little. You can't like cleverly send the dogs around the outside because the forest makes them move so slowly. Look, if I try to go around the outside, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 turns, you can see it's just worthless. There's no clever way to beat this map. Just charge in. And rely on the fact that your leader will do plenty of damage. Actually kind of messed up. That swordsman could go behind my leader and attack my dog. Which he will. Oh, right. I should turn on his animations because they are cute. See, he's got little troops that hang out with him. I love how they pet him. If I attack that door, it'll say something like, don't attack the door yet until you've opened all these other doors. Basically, this power is like Eagle's power. All the orthogonally adjacent units will get another attack. It's super effective. See, I just have to do this sort of methodically and boringly. Notice other units can't see through the walls, only dogs can, which is okay. But not that exciting. See, what was I going to do about that? There's no strategy around handling that the way Fog of War works in this game. To do this a pretty boring way. Notice also that his health slowly regenerates over time, while no one else's does. So leaders, because that happens, you can really... there's a lot of these missions where you have to sort of use them as tanks, because thus far, that is still the only tank unit I've got. I have no other units that can take a hit, so I can't use a lot of, like, normal strategies. So that ranger's gonna attack my ranger, probably. See, so I'm kind of hoping the AI will be stupid and attack my leader. There's no chance they'll kill my leader, but they will all take significant damage and save my other better units. I have one dog left, so I gotta protect him. Might as well use my Inspire now. That way I can charge up again. It ends up being actually rarely useful because of its very small range. Yeah, that'll open it. Oh, good, another ranger. Oh, I wonder where those prisoners could be. Probably here. All this outdoor space means nothing. Don't waste your time out there. Looks like I'll go for the crit. There's no way to see that guy. I'll take some damage. These pillars just mean it's harder to move my guys out, and it takes a while to arrange them. I appreciate all the different variety of maps, but a little more care could have been put into this one to make it a little more fun. Now, here's an actual strategy. Because there's 2 doors into this room, I actually want to send some of these units back. Because I'd like to come into the room from multiple angles simultaneously. I'll keep all the pikemen together. For obvious reasons. Send the bulk of my units down because there's going to be more enemies down here. I'll send these range units all toward this door. I'll have 1 piece of cannon fodder. Yep. Attack there. Keep the dog safe. Actually, I'll move the dog up here. Let's just move these guys into position and have them wait outside that door. Ooh, what are my favorite Advance Wars style games? So, Advance Wars. I literally have not found one that satisfies me other than Advance Wars. I mean, Desert Commander on the old NES, which is basically Advance Wars, is close. But it really just comes down to which Advance Warses do I think are the best. Of the Advance Wars, I actually think I enjoyed Days of Ruin the most, because while it didn't have the fun theme, it had a lot of flaws relative to the other Advance Wars games, or at least a lot of significant differences. The one thing about Days of Ruin was that it had a much better, I don't know, the mechanics of warfare in that game were much better. Like, the game was very much a game about tactics. No units were like overpowered or underpowered. Resupplies and chains and the motorcycle units, like everything's just really tight in Days of Ruin. Dual Strike is the most fun of the traditional Advance Wars games, but it is also deeply flawed in the sense that some of the character combos are really broken, and there's it is like the height of this one weird trick to beat the game, one weird trick to take out someone's base early, stuff like that. Get like Sammy Eagle, and you take 2 turns. Sammy can cap in 1 shot, save up your power. So if I had to rank the Advance Wars games in terms of like how good they are at being strategy games. These guys are all kind of weak. I'm gonna lose some units here. I suppose that's fine. See, it's just, I can't get the units out in time. So if I skip Days of Ruin, because it's hard to rank Days of Ruin compared to the other Advance Wars. It's just in reverse order, reverse chronological order of their release date. Dual Strike is real good. Oops, I ended my turn early. Dang it. Alright, now all I have to do is waste a little bit of time moving these guys around. Maybe use Inspire to get 2 attacks all in one go. This is all the units I can get. There's nowhere else I can go. Let's wait one more turn. All right, let's do it. Oops, I miscalculated that. I will wait one more turn, actually, because of that. If I don't get the S rank because of that, so be it. Maps like this, I don't care that much about getting the S rank. Everyone get in here and help me fight this dog. Alright. I'll take some hits, but whatever. All right, let's take those hits. Yep. 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 Oh, see, he's ranged. That's another thing. Ranged units will attack back. Yeah, he'll just die. He's gonna die anyway, so let's just put him in the way. And let's do this. That way it might charge one more time. Let's weaken those ranged units substantially. Much to say here, just mopping up. No reason to attack with him. I'll just let the enemy potentially waste his turn. I think that's the last dude. Yep. Yep, B rank. See, it doesn't tell me why, and I'm pretty sure it literally just comes down to the total turns it took. I spent a couple of turns farting around before I went through the doors because I wanted to play it more cautiously. I could probably figure... This isn't like Advance Wars. Like, because it's a pretty simplistic measure, I don't care that... Like, I don't feel the need to go back and, like, get that 3rd star because that mission wasn't that fun. I think I'll play at least one more in the stream, and then it's time to... maybe do some other things tonight. But I will continue these streams to do every single mission in the campaign. And try to S-rank as many as are fun to do. Well, now the misunderstanding will be over after this last battle. That's the tank. Those giants, which I can't build yet, that's the first actual tank unit. It's the only goddamn unit that can take a hit. It kind of functions like a medium tank. It moves a little bit further than infantry, but not that much further. Like 5 instead of 4. Their crit is if they are wounded, they will do more damage. And trebuchets... They crit if they're firing at their maximum range. The range is 2 to 5. These are more like rockets. They don't shoot quite as far as rockets from Advance Wars. Oh, we'll turn off the animations again. Oh yeah, S rank is different from 3 stars. So if you just hit A, you won't. I didn't even see that there was a little medal that tells you a rank when I was playing the game until now when I was trying to stream and I got distracted and didn't keep mashing A. I didn't even realize there was a rank at first. I just saw 1, 2, or 3 stars. But it still seems to be based almost entirely on the number of turns it takes you to beat the mission. There we go. All right. Game tells me to put the pup there. Let's capture. He's got more income than me. At a map like this, the way to win is to get more income than the opponent and maintain it for a little while. Then you'll just win. I'm going to need more units to be able to capture. I'm actually going to build a swordsman. I'm not worried about getting killed, so I'll just capture. Hide in that forest for now. Even though you can't actually hide in the forest, I will take less damage if anything enters the forest. Gotta protect these trebuchets. I'd like at least one range unit. Yeah, so like in Advance Wars, turn timer, as long as you beat the mission within a certain number of turns, you could beat it faster than that to get bonus points to maybe offset an area where you did less well. But generally, the way to get an S rank in Advance Wars is to be hyper efficient, to like build the minimum possible units while doing the maximum possible damage and beating it as quickly as possible. So my instinct, which I have to really disavow myself of, is to like never waste a unit. But I found in this game I'm often encouraged to waste units. Pointless. He still has more income than me. Battle pups can move a little further and they do decent damage. So I'll start building them so I can get them to the front lines quickly. Oh, there's my next opponent. So look, moves 5. So look at all these places he can attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that takes 3 movement to move on to. I like Fog of War in other games. I just don't like it in this game. It's not fun, and it's too simple compared to, say, how Advance Wars handles Fog of War. The fact that I can't hide units or set traps is kind of annoying. Alright, let's get a knight to be able to crit now. Rush in at the end and finish somebody. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm willing to lose that unit. I doubt there's another giant hanging out there. And this dude... I'll let him be expendable instead of trying to heal him. Yes, come to Butthead. I don't think there's anything close here to hurt me. One, two, three, four, five, six. Not quite. I'll capture it at one. I'll risk it. And I'll retreat and heal. Oh, there was a giant hiding back there. That's right, I miscalculated. All right, all right, all right. You run away. Drop the shield.
This should protect us.
Oh crap, that dog might actually kill me. There might not be much I can do about it. Oh, I should have moved that guy first too. Oh well. Well, if that didn't end me, then I can win pretty handily. Yep, that ended me. Unlike, say, Advance Wars, like I said, the Fog of War missions are just not that fun. Oh, whatever. I think this is a good enough stream for today. I will pick this up starting here and continue until I beat the game. And stay tuned for more of this.